too.
Join the set, and then we'll bring them in too. And this is how we're going to do it. As people show up, I'm going to just pull them in. And joining me right now is Mary Titla, and you're gonna have to get closer.
Okay, all right. There I go.
And she is the executive director of United National Indian Tribal Youth.
That's right.
Based in Mesa, Arizona.
Right.
And see, I'm a walking line. From the San Carlos Apache tribe, journalism degree from the University of Oklahoma, former Miss, this is the one I don't know.
NCAI.
Miss NCAI. How did I
Well,
get?
yeah, back in the days when they actually had a Miss NCAI, they don't anymore. But
Oh, they don't?
no.
Oh.
They have the Youth Commission.
Oh, that's right. That's even better. That's even
Well,
better.
I don't know if it's better.
Well, I don't know.
I'm biased,
I
but
know.
you know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good
Okay.
thing.
So tell me, speaking of the Youth Commission, and I remember when I worked with United National Indian Tribal Youth back in the early 90s, I think it was, and I think that's kind of where the foundation was, and I'm not taking any credit because it wasn't my idea, but I happened to be working, and I remember when there was talk of developing a youth commission. That was 20 years ago, and now I'm seeing youth councils from different parts of Indian country coming in. So explain a little bit more about what the Youth Commission, the NCAI Youth Commission is.
Well, the NCAI Youth Commission is something that I'm not really knowledgeable about, but we do have Unity Youth who are part of that.
Right.
I know that they have officers and they have different representatives, and they are having their separate meetings here at NCAI. I just went to a session where tribal leaders were part of a panel, and they were asking questions of the tribal leaders, and so there's young people here from all over the country participating in that. And like I mentioned, we do have our Unity Youth who are involved in that. Our two co-presidents are here, Brian Whedon from Mashpee Wampanoag, who is our male co-president for the National Unity Council, as well as Sarah Scott, who is Lummi and from Washington State. So they are here representing, and we have other Unity Youth who are part of the Youth Commission, and they also have a youth cabinet. So they are, taking it all in, and it's a really training ground for future tribal leaders, and they are tribal leaders in their own right currently.
And as I mingle around, I do see a lot of former Unity members.
Absolutely, like Greg Mendoza, who's governor
I didn't even know
of
he
the
was
Gila
governor.
River Indian community.
And someone came up to him and said, "Hey, governor," and I was like, "You're the governor?" He was like, "Where have you been?" I was like, "I don't know."
He's up for re-election.
Okay, all right.
Yep,
But,
so a lot of people.
and he was just the youth council
He helped start the Gila
Gila
River
River,
Youth Council, the Akimel Autumn Youth Council.
Right.
Correct, and it's now up and running, and a great program, a model program
Right.
for youth councils around the country.
Okay, and then United National Indian Tribal Youth. Tell me what some of your objectives are that's coming down the pipe.
Well, for those who aren't familiar with Unity, just let me explain a little bit about our history. I'll be very brief. It started back in
Take your time.
1976
We're on the internet.
by
We don't have a time
J.R.
limit.
Cook, who is Cherokee, and had this vision for Native American youth to develop in 4 areas: spiritual, mental, social, and physical, and to have a voice in Indian country so that they can contribute to their communities with their ideas and coming up with solutions to address problems in their communities. In the 1990s, we started the National Unity Council, which is made up of Unity youth councils from around the country. And currently, that really is the heart of Unity. There is a makeup of 145 youth councils in 35 states. So it's a large network. Every year, the National Unity Council conducts its own elections, and they elect regional reps, sort of like NCAI does.
Yeah,
and then they have their 2 co-presidents. So that's something that is really exciting, and they have their own constitution and bylaws, and they set their own agenda. So they also plan for the National Unity Conference at mid-year, which is coming up in February in Washington, D.C., and then the National Conference, which will be held in Washington, D.C. next summer. Yeah. So, but the focus is youth leadership development and training. We just recently received a grant from the OJJDP, Department of Justice, and we're doing trainings all over the country, which is focused on service projects and helping youth come up with an action plan. And so there's a curriculum. And anyway, J.R. Cook, as I mentioned, who founded Unity and was the executive director for almost 38 years, stepped down last year. And I stepped in as executive director. I'm very honored and humbled to be serving in that capacity. But it's been great this last year going around the country working with youth. And there's a real need for youth to know that there are organizations like Unity that really care about who they are and that they have a voice, so that we can empower them and encourage them. And they learn a lot, not only from our trainers and our speakers, but their peers. And Unity is unique in that it's a youth-led organization, and so a lot of youth come up with not only the agenda for the national conference, but they facilitate, they MC. So you'll see them on stage. It's not the adults, but it's the youth, and I think that's what makes it unique.
And it was one of my first professional jobs, working for Unity, and it really opened my eyes. I was just this, kid that grew up in Oklahoma who had hardly ever been out of Oklahoma, and then and JR hired me. He had the foresight to see my multi-talents.
You have talents? Name one.
Oh,
no, just kidding.
JR saw that.
You're articulate.
What other people didn't see, JR saw that.
Yeah.
But
and he
he
had an eye for that. Really did.
He really did. Yeah.
And he had an
like
knack
no one
pulling
knew
people out of
that
the
you
crowd.
would end up so successful, but JR.
I was good with the microphone.
That's right. KPNX.
KPNX.
And the NBC
in
affiliate
Phoenix.
in Phoenix.
Yep.
Yep. And there was Mary Titla.
Yeah.
Reporting live from there it was. But
Yeah.
anyway, do you still have the four like the symbol, the original?
Absolutely. Our
The
logo.
spiritual, the physical, the mental, and the social?
Correct.
Did I still
You
remember
got it
that?
all. Yeah.
I got it.
And what are the colors?
Blue, red, white.
White, yeah, red, white, and blue. There you go.
Oh,
It hasn't changed.
is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
absolutely.
Okay, what we want to do next?
Yes, bring in our young people that
yes,
are youth
yes.
leaders.
You're going to sit on the hot seat.
Come on in, Sarah
on, and
Scott
look.
with Lummy and
Harlan.
then Brian Whedon next.
Scott says
So.
we're getting live viewers.